Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. We're on the Outpost map with Argonaut from 1AR clan. He's in the French TD at tier 8, this SFAC 105. It's a premium vehicle. Came out in the loot boxes, and it's a double-barreled tank. Let's have a quick look at the ammunition. So standard APCR with 390 damage and 270 pen. And the heat round gives you 320, which is pretty good for a tier 8. Let's have a quick look at the HE. So average pen 53 is not so great, but 480 pen if you get the chance. Alrighty, now it's pretty common here for the TDs to set up. But he's got a Canadian Panzer 105 with him as well, and you can see if Vipera 2, Vipera is coming up. Luckily a Progetto 46 is going up, but got a few targets here. He goes for the double barrel, so you hold down your firing button for a few seconds and that will turn it into double barrel mode. Of course it's the same mechanism as all the other double barrel tanks. And you can see the total shell loading time, 18.8 seconds, once you've expended both shells. Now it's got both back again, so if he needs to. Now it just takes a few seconds, so you're going to have a fairly stationary tank there. And just got the top of that 274A. Here comes TVP. He might just come out the side here. Yep, here he comes. He's got it lined up for the double barrel, but only really need one with a bit of high roll to get him, but made sure he got the kill. So already up to just under 1.2k of damage. Possible DLC target there. Now you'd have to roll over here, but he's got another SFAC there. Goes for the single barrel. Does get a reasonable high roll there, 410. Shadow there, maybe waiting for that SFAC to come out of cover. Go for the double barrel the next time, I'm sure, to get the kill. So the Progetto goes for the double barrel again. Weight 71, that's a decent roll there as well. So picking up some spotting damage on the DLC as well, so good with the vision there. Now he is running IRM for gun handling, and as well as being able to turn fairly efficiently. Comes the enemy SFAC again, should get the kill. No, actually didn't have the second shell loaded there, so just gets the first one in. And just to complete the picture, he's got coated optics and turbo. Now you can tell that he's got his field mods going because he's got the second slot speciality there. But a possible target there, the T28 prototype. But if he turns up and he's got that SFAC down there, he could probably get spotted from the side because he doesn't have to cover that way. Goes for a blind shot, but that doesn't help. Now his team's in a bit of a bother. They're 3 tanks down and quite a substantial amount of hit points down. I'm sure Argonaut is going to try and rectify that. But looks like they've lost the top part of the map there. Oh, and he gets spotted there and takes a hit from an ICU 152 also. A TD with big alpha, but doesn't have double barrels, so he's got a bit of an advantage if he comes across that 152. And maybe lit by the LC, a bit hard to tell, so he comes back to take a bit of more defensive mode here, given that the enemy tanks are coming around the north side. Now, there's not a lot of support there. There's one Canadian Panzer there, Scorpion, potentially Vipera is moving up as well, so they're putting up a bit of defence there. Now he's in a platoon with a mate who we've seen on the channel quite a few times. He's in the Squall, so light tank, giving a bit of vision there, and now he's got some targets. Double barrel shot into the T832, who gets finished off by Vipera, and you can see that good technique assuming that you're going to get spotted, is back off as quickly as possible. Does he have a target on this IS-2? Well, he's sort of getting spotted. Firing back at him there. The Progetto 54 though, yep, probably the spotter there. Puts a shot towards him, but luckily he's in cover. But certainly some targets coming up. Oh, he's got the Progetto 54 there. That's the double barrel shot. Unfortunately, only one of the shots collects, and that's one of the, I'd say, an issue with the double barrel. But given that the guns are separated, that means that if you're sort of getting the right barrel on target, but the left one is sort of misaligned, you won't necessarily get the double damage. That's just something to consider, that try and centre your shot a little bit. Here we go, some more targets. So ISU-152, that's the one who gave him the bother, and he does put a double barrel shot in, gets the kill, so a bit of vengeance there. So they're working their way back into the game. Now the deficit's only 2 tanks and about 2,000 hit points of damage. Enemy losing some hit points here. That's Abmate in the Squall putting some shots into the T-28 prototype. Obviously he's in communications with Abmate, so he's just looking for the opportunity here. But that's T-28 prototype losing more hit points. Doesn't necessarily want to lose any health unnecessarily, still fairly low by this Abmate putting another bunch of small caliber shells into the T-28 prototype. So they're starting to lose tanks again on the sort of H line there, so it's going to have to pay attention to that and potentially help out the Vipera. He's got another target here, the IS-2 too. Luckily didn't get spotted there, but could get the shot in. Goes to the single barrel there because of the position it was in, and that gets the kill, but he puts another shot in there onto the Progetto. So 2 Progetto 54s. Unfortunately the Vipera goes down, so it's coming down to Argonaut and Abmate and the Skoda T-27. So can he get a shot in? Yes, he's got the Progetto here, should get the kill here, which he does. Guarantees that with the double barrel hit. And now he's got the KRE he can go for the same way, but getting close to the end of the match here. They've now got their advantage up on the Abmate putting some shots into the KRE. Gets spotted there by the KRE. Luckily he avoids any return fire. Let's go to T-27 up in the north. They're getting away a bit from the Progetto 54, maybe to try and get some flanking shots in, but leaving the KRE there for Argonaut and Abmate. And he's just under 6 km damage here, so having an excellent game. He can't afford to take a hit here. The KRE can put out a bit of a punch, but he's hoping to get him. And alright, there's Abmate's putting shots into him, so he's dodging a bit, but line him up the rear side if he backs up a little bit. Just needs to get in the way, and he does. That gets the kill. So now it's just a Progetto 54 left, and takes out the Skoda. So it's just the pair of them, and he's just got to do a bit of driving here to catch up. He's hoping to get all those hit points. The Progetto is basically running away from him without realising, of course, that he's being chased. That mate is above Progetto, so the Progetto looks like it's going around to try and get up into the castle area in the middle. So you can see the speed now. He's running turbo, of course, which is adding to his top speed, but getting nearly 60 k's across ground, that's pretty impressive. But you can imagine here what's going to happen is the Puccino's going after the Squall, and the Squall is just sort of tempting him, and knowing that Argonaut is coming up behind, try and get a shot into the rear of the Progetto. And again, he was able to take a hit in return, and here he is. Lines up, only gets one shot in, unfortunately. Again, that's the double barrel curse to an extent. A bit of a rushed aim, of course, because of the situation, but clearly one barrel not quite aligning with the target. Anyway, that mate's coming back to give a repeat. He's able to sacrifice himself and take a hit from the Progetto, which he does, so he knows the Progetto is fired, goes for the barrel shot, gets the kill, and that's the end of the game. So, great game there, great team play as well with AppMate, secure the win. Well, the excitement, we missed out on him getting a top gun, but that was the last kill. So he's ended up with 6 kills, just a tad under 7k of damage, and another 1.74k of assisted damage there. So we're talking about 8.7, 8.8k of combined. And is given the high caliber award, of course, for the most damage, and the Ace Tanker Mastery badge. Alright, let's have a look at this. Wow, 1.9k base experience. That's really excellent. Probably one of the highest at the moment in that tank. And AppMate coming in with just over 1.09, so nearly 1100 of his own experience, and both those really carried the game at the end. Let's look at the enemy score. So we've got 2 players getting over 2k, so Kari that he dealt with, and it's got a T56, and that's the Progetto he faced at the end, I think it was, with the 4 kills, but coming into 3rd place there, so well played to those players. Alright, let's have a look at the economic side. So he's fired 26 shots, 21 hits out of that, which 19 penetrated, so 2 non-pens. Perhaps that's what we saw with those single damages out of the double barrel shots, but the second barrel clearly not hitting a weak spot. Platoon bonus, lovely amount there, just absolute magnificent, and I guess that depends a bit on the performance of the 2 players. So if your platoon does well, you earn more. That's not something I've read, I'm just surmising from the results. So if you know about that, please leave a comment about it, that'd be nice to know. Expense wise, not a whole lot. Ammunition costs pretty low, so running mostly his APCR, which was the standard rounds. Not sure if I saw him dip into the heat at all, but I guess he didn't really need it. So look, a magnificent credit total of 271k profit. Anyway, great game there from Argonaut. Thanks very much for sending the replay, and apologies for how long it's taken to get out, but slowly catching up. It's been a bit hectic though. But once again, thanks Argonaut for supplying that. Anyway, if you're watching this, I hope you enjoy it. If it does help you out at all, please give a thumbs up to the video. It does help its visibility to other players who may not have seen it before. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, that's an option for you. We'll have more great content to follow. Thanks very much for watching.